One of the most profitable uses of AI is to use the image editors to create ads, images, graphics, sales materials, and a whole lot more. In fact, you can use AI image generators all by themselves and make money. We're going to talk more about that today. But the whole reason I'm doing this is because just within the last 72 hours of recording this video, we have 3 of the titans in the AI industry have launched brand new image editors. And these image editors are powerful. They do things that you could not do before. And the big question becomes, which one is best? You have X.com, XAI from Elon Musk and the Twitter/X fame. They have Grok, who they have released their image editor. Then Google released Gemini's new image editing tool. And then, not to be outdone, we had OpenAI do it with ChatGPT. So which of these tools is the best one? Because you don't have to pay for all 3, right? You want to be able to pick the one that is the best tool for the job, that gets the job done and is easy to use and gives you high quality materials. Well, there is a winner. One of these 3 tools stands out amongst the others and is the absolute best tool to use, especially if you want to use these tools to make money. So what we're about to do is we're going to dive in. We will do a step-by-step tutorial of how to use these tools. We're going to do a head-to-head cage match. We're going to put all 3 together. I'll be doing some image editing with you here on screen live, and I will show you which of these tools is the best tool to use. And then when you hang around with me to the end of the video, I have 4 different ways that you can use these tools to generate profits online. So we're going to go into detailed case studies, and I will show you exactly what you can do to use these tools to make money in your business. Or maybe if you just want a side hustle where you can use these AI tools and just make a little extra side cash, we'll talk about that too. So with that, we're going to dive in. Are you ready? Let's get to it. Now, as usual, there is a slide deck that accompanies this training. And if you'd like more information, details, case studies, screenshots, and what you need to implement what I'm about to show you, you can get this slide deck that you see right there. It's absolutely free. All we ask is that you become a subscriber of Ingeniosity, which is our totally free newsletter, where every Friday we release an episode with playbooks and step-by-step materials that show you how to use AI tools to make profit online. So I'll drop a link to how you can join that. I'll pop that into the description of the video down below, and also I'll put that into the comments so you can quickly get a link to that to go get that totally free. And you'll be able to get access to that and download it and go through it. So as I said, the whole point of why we're doing this session today is because the giants of the industry have released these tools. These image editing tools are quite something. So when you use them, you can produce a lot of material that used to, like in the past, when I'd want to launch a brand new business, there was all kinds of things I needed for graphics, for images, for social media profiles and things like that. If I wanted to do ads, I needed images for my ads. I need images to share on social media. I need product shots. There's a lot of things I needed images for. And when I had to go hire a graphic designer, even if I was outsourcing that, they were not cheap. They were expensive and they took time. Now with these tools, especially when you pick the right one, which I'll show you in just a bit, you can sit down and literally in a few minutes make all of those things that I just said. So let's get to it. First up, ChatGPT. If you want to get access to that, all you need is the ability to access ChatGPT 4.0. Now you can get access to their premium membership at $20 a month. That's how you get access to that. Then once you're in, it's really simple how you do it. There's a little screenshot of it. I'll show it on screen live in a moment. But in the little prompt box that they have here, you just click the 3 dots and you'll see create image will be a new option that perhaps you didn't have before. So you just start a conversation in ChatGPT, you select the 4.0 model. And again, I will show this to you live in a moment, and that will unlock access to it. Now with Grok, it's just slightly more complicated, but you do need an X premium account. And to have access to that, those plans start at $8 a month. That is basically just the premium access where you verify your identity, you prove who you are and go on Twitter or X, as they're calling it now. And then to use it, we open up a Grok conversation. So Grok is their AI, is X's AI tool. And you'll notice they have just that edit image button. You just click the edit image button and that will unlock this new feature. Now with Google's Gemini, you need to be a Gemini advanced user. That one is $20 a month. And to get access to it, you go to aistudio.google.com. That's aistudio.google.com. And then once you get there, you select Gemini to Flash, right? You'll notice there's a little place on the side where you click it, you select Flash image generation, just like you see here on the little screenshot. Again, I will show this to you live in a moment, and that will unlock it. That's how you get access to it. So with that, we're going to do a head-to-head comparison. We'll throw them in the cage match, and we're going to do some image generation and image editing right here, right now. We're going to do 2 different tests. So each of these 3 tools, we're going to run it through 2 tests. The first one, I'm just going to do something fun. So we'll just do something fun with an image that I've got, and we'll see how these do. And then we'll come back, and we're going to do a round and give it a business task and see how they do with the business task. And we'll do that. We'll do all of that here live on screen. So you'll get to watch me use it. You'll see exactly what to do. We'll talk about some best practices. And then don't forget, coming up a bit later, we're going to talk about how do you make money? How do you generate profit or build business, build your business using these tools? That's coming up as we get into the end here. Okay, cool. So I think what we'll do, we'll do it in order here. We'll start with ChatGPT. So we're going to come over here. Once you get into ChatGPT 4.0, again, you get that here from this drop down that you see right there. Select 4.0, then you'll come over here, these 3 dots, and you select Create Image, just like you see on screen now. And when you do that, you'll notice, see it toggled it on, see the blue Create Image? If I do it again, it's going to take it away. And now it's turned off. So we want to turn it on. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to upload from my computer an image that should be in my pictures. Let's see. Okay, that's a smiling picture of my dog Bodhi, who's asleep on the floor right over there. He's right over there sleeping quietly. But we're going to put a picture of him and we're going to play around. We're going to do some fun stuff with just some fun personal stuff as my first test. Okay, and now that we've got the image of Bodhi here, I'm going to just quickly put a prompt. So this is a text set of instructions, also called a prompt, that we're going to be giving here to ChatGPT, and we're telling ChatGPT, turn this picture of my golden retriever dog into a Roman emperor. Dress it in a flowing purple toga with gold trim, a golden laurel wreath crown resting on his head, and a dignified expression. Set the background to a marble Roman palace with columns. So we're going to turn Bodhi into a Roman emperor. Let's see how this works. So now it's going to work. So you can see here it's getting started. Now, one of the things that I do notice about ChatGPT is it does it live. So we'll be watching the progress as it's building the image, and it is a little bit slower. So here we go. Now it's starting building something. And we'll notice again, this is going to be a little slower. And what you'll see as we move on into the other ones, they go a little bit faster than ChatGPT does. So as the image improves in quality, we'll see it kind of shift and change as it goes. And then it's going to take a moment here. So we'll give it a moment to do its thing. You can access it through the free tiers. I don't know, are all 3 free tiers available? I'm not sure, but they do limit you on the number of images that you can generate. And so if you're going to use it for your business, for like social media posting, graphics, and all the kind of things that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, I think you're going to run into the limits. I think in order to do what I'm going to talk about later, I think you're going to need to have one of the premium versions. One useful thing we can do while we're waiting for ChatGPT to finish doing its thing here, if you guys want the deck, you want to download the slide deck that I'm going to be using for this presentation, including the case studies and some of the prompts and other things that you can use, definitely join our Ingeniosity newsletter. It's totally free, just a free newsletter you can join and get. Every Friday, we send out new free trainings to that list. I see it there. So I'm going to go in here and let me just pin that real fast. Okay. All right. Well, it's almost done. And now you can see pretty good, right? Look at that. That is pretty darn impressive. Yeah. Hey, Bodhi. Here, let's bring Bodhi on. You guys tell me if it looks like him. Come here, you. Come here. Come on up. Here's my old man. Yes, there he is. I think he doesn't have quite as much gray in his emperor portrait, but I think that's an older picture. So there we go. So there we have Emperor Bodhi. How would you guys rate this? If we put it on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate that image quality for what I uploaded, what I asked for, and what I got? What would you give it? So let's rate it from 0 being horrible to 10 being awesome. I think I'm going to give this a 9. What do you think, Nick?
I think I'll get 8.5.
8.5? Okay. So I'm going to give it a 9. Nick is giving it an 8.5. What do you rate this? When you look at this here, now the beauty of what you can do with these tools is going to come in our next round of testing. We're actually going to jump in and edit some of these images while we are in the chat. So you'll see in our next round, we're doing this for fun. I'm going to come back. I'm going to do some business uses in just a minute, and you'll get to see how powerful it is when it comes to editing images, not just generating them. That's the power of these tools, is they generate really awesome images like this, but when you edit them, it's quite something else. So let's move on. So there's our first tool. So I'm giving it a 9. Everybody else seems to be in the same range. We've got 8 or 9s so far. And then we're going to move on. Let's go back to my presentation here. So we've done ChatGPT. Now let's do Grok. So we're going to go head over here and we're going to go to Grok. Okay. So once you have access to Grok, which as you can see here, I'm logged into x.com and then I've clicked on Grok. Then you come over here and you see that the edit image button. So we just click that when we want to edit an image. And now we're going to do the same thing. We're going to upload Bodhi and I'm going to paste the same exact prompt. So we're going to put it literally exactly the same and we'll submit it. And it has gone to work. So as ChatGPT, you can kind of see it's showing us a little bit as it works, some of its progress. And there it's giving me 2 different versions. And let's see how it comes out. So X seems to have preserved a little more. Actually, you know what's funny is Grok seems to have given him more gray. Okay, so there is image 1. There is image 2. I like his smile in these. So pretty good. Personally, I kind of prefer the first one at ChatGPT over these. These are good for a different reason. I like his long flowing golden hair and it did preserve a little bit more of his white face than the other. Yeah, so now let's score this one. So I'm going to say for me, I'm going to give this a 6.5, I'm going to say. Nick, what would you say for this one?
I agree with you exactly, 6.5.
Okay. So this is Grok. So now in the chat, type Grok and then give me your rating. What do you rate this at? Say Grok and then tell me the rating. What do you think? Pop that into the chat and let me know. And we'll see how you guys think about that. But so I'm for image generation, just for making an image from scratch, it looks like so far ChatGPT is beating out Grok. So we're going to come back, we'll do some image editing and some more business uses, and we'll see how it holds up. So now let's move on to the final fun test, to Google AI Studio. Now, to get access to this, you need to use AI Studio, and you can go to aistudio.google.com to get access. Then once you're on this page, it's really important over here under model. See how when I click that, there's all these options. There's a lot of models that you have to choose from. Make sure that you choose Gemini 2 Flash image generation. See, like right there? So you definitely need to select that in order to get the feature I'm about to use. All right. Then we'll come over here. We're going to click image editing. Now, don't get surprised. It does this automatically. It just kind of throws in an example that you can see here of how it works. That's not, I didn't do that. It just kind of does it to demo itself when you first go in. Ignore that. And so what we're going to do is I'm going to come over here. I'm going to hit the plus symbol, upload file. There we go. So we'll give it Bodhi. And then I'm going to paste the same prompt right here. So I'm going to just paste the same exact prompt and I'm going to say run. And now it's gone to work. Oh boy, look what it did. Ooh. I'm going to give that a 0.
Yeah.
Ooh, fail for Google. Let me just make sure I didn't mess something up. Okay, it is on image generation. That is crazy. So, Nick, did I do anything?
Well, it looks like you did it right. Looks like it's just fumbling it.
Okay.
Let me try.
So I'm going to go create prompt. Let's try. I'm just going to try again. Image editing. I'm going to start over just to make sure that I didn't mess something up. So I'm going to paste my prompt in here. I'm going to click the little plus and I'm going to upload my file. I want to be fair, so let's just make sure. We'll give it a second chance. Oh, it did it again.
Here, I'll share my screen. Here's what it got for me.
So, okay, so producer Nick is going to share his screen. We'll see. Did it fail like it did for me?
No.
How weird.
There.
Okay. Well, I would say even so at this point, I think ChatGPT is the clear winner. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, chat, do you guys agree? Who's the winner so far for just when it comes to just making it generate an image just for messing around? Who wins so far? Give me your vote in the chat. Just pop in a comment in there and let me know who you think is the winner. ChatGPT, which was the first one we tried. Then we did Grok was the second. And then the third was Google Gemini. And with Google Gemini, it completely failed for me. But for producer Nick, it did generate a pretty good image. So now let's go try something that you would do in a business. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this out. This is one thing that we have noticed is that if you keep trying to make images in the same chat conversation, it confuses it. So let's say now I wanted to make an image of a tree. It will still be like, it still kind of remembers that we were talking about Bodhi and a Roman emperor, and it might confuse it about the next set of images that we make. That's happened to us a couple times. So what we want to do is start a new chat. So if you just click on ChatGPT again, that refreshes it and we start a new chat. And again, we'll click the three dots, say create image. So in this case, we're going to just start with a basic example. So with the image editing tools that we are seeing here, there's a lot of things that you can do. You can upload a picture of a model and you can upload a product and ask these tools to put them together. So you can actually, you don't need to hire a model. You just have AI make a digital model, and then you can have it take your product and put it in the model's hand right here in these chat panels. You can also take things like shirts, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a shirt and put it on and edit it and put it in situations as we want. These are perfect for product shots, product mock-ups. If you're doing print on demand, it's a great way to show products like on actual people. It's fantastic for ads. I'm going to be using this extensively for our Facebook advertisements that we do. We're going to be using these tools, so they're really, really powerful. Okay, so let's go back to the screen. And I am going to upload an image. So we're going to click the plus button, upload from computer. And I just have a funny picture of a t-shirt. Well, it's not funny, just a t-shirt there. And then what I'm going to say, let's say that t-shirt had my company logo on it, or it had a saying about my company. And so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take that t-shirt and let's put it on Elon Musk. Elon will become my model for this. And let's see what it does. Apparently, ChatGPT, it's funny, it's backwards. Usually ChatGPT is very aggressive in their filtering and censoring, but it's pretty wide open at the moment. And so that's going to let me do this with Elon Musk. So producer Nick is, to echo what he said, he's done it with Donald Trump, a bunch of other celebrities, and it does it. Now, what we're going to do in a minute, I just want to do this for fun to put it on Elon Musk, but why not describe the model that you want to have the shirt on? Why not take a shirt, put the logo or the slogan or the name of your company? You can actually have it create a shirt with the image of your company name on it. Then have it put that shirt on a model who represents your ideal customer. So let's say your ideal customer base is a 20-something girl. So now you can literally ask it to make an image of a 20-something model and put the product on that model. You can have a model holding a book. So let's say that you're releasing even an ebook or a printed book. You can literally have an AI model created, and you would pick the perfect avatar for who your ideal customer is, and then have them holding the book, reading the book, doing things like that. Now, an advanced topic, which we're going to talk a little bit more about as we get into the bonus content a bit later, we're going to be talking about how then maybe you could take these and turn them into videos. That's, in fact, we'll probably do a whole new training on that alone, on how to use these tools combined with video to make some really powerful ads. So there you go. So Elon is now wearing my shirt. So let's just ask. I don't know what it's going to do. If I just ask in chat, do you think it'll change the model?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you might have to select edit image again or create image, but yeah.
Okay, so while we're waiting for that image to load, one thing that I want to point out is that these new tools are amazing at text. So if you've used AI generation tools in the past, you'll find that they get weird. They'll misspell words. They'll create like alien alphabets and symbols, and they'll write words in like Egyptian hieroglyphs. Like they do really weird stuff when it comes to words. Well, they've got it so good now. So all of these models are dramatically improved. So if you have words that you want people to like, if you want a thought bubble and some words in the thought bubble, it'll do it. It'll do it perfectly. You want to have your book and some text on a book that someone's holding, it will do it correctly. Maybe you want the person looking at a computer screen and words on the computer screen. Well, it's going to do that perfectly. So in the demo, for example, for OpenAI, when they did ChatGPT's image generation, they actually had the person holding a script with a bunch of text on it. It was perfect. It did the guy was holding a piece of paper and it said script, right? And then it had notes for the speaker and all the text on a sheet of paper in the image, and it did it perfectly. It's really, really good. Now let's go back and we'll take a look. So look at that. It did it. We could put that shirt, and I'm using this shirt as just a really simple example that's easy for people to grasp and understand, but it could literally be anything. The models that you create can be holding anything. They can be doing anything. You could tell it to put her on a bicycle, riding a bike on a country road, wearing this shirt. Okay. You could, if you sell bicycles, you could upload a picture of your bicycles that you sell and have them put a model on it riding across, a beach. You could do almost anything you can imagine. You can now take shots of your products, screenshots of books or whatever it might be, and generate images that you can use in all of these places, ads and everything else. Another example would be if you've ever struggled, like you've just created a Facebook page and you need to create a header graphic. For the header graphic, well, just have ChatGPT or one of these other tools do it. Pretty simple. That's a pretty darn good image. It looks like it's coming straight out of a product shot in a catalog. Okay, so now let's move on. So next we're going to go to Grok, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to create a new Grok conversation. I need to make sure I click edit image. We're going to take our shirt. And Nick, you said it probably isn't going to do Elon?
Probably. You could try, but it probably won't.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Submit. Well, it's doing it, but we'll see. It doesn't look like it threw an error, and then we're going to see if it actually creates the correct image. It's making something. Oh, it looks like it's going to do it.
Oh, wow. We're in luck.
Okay, well, it successfully did it with Elon, so it didn't censor us, didn't block us from doing it. So now let's try our other prompt. Can you put this on a 24-year-old attractive female model? And just for clarity, I'm going to say, can you put this shirt? So it understands explicitly what I'm asking for, and we're going to submit it. And let's see what Grok does with this. Here it comes. Fun to look. Okay, it did one. It gave me two, and one of them it kept Elon there for some reason. Okay, but we did get this one. So far, I think ChatGPT is still leading the pack when it comes to business uses. What do you guys think? So let's do the final one. We're going to come over here. Let's do another. So I'm going to hit create prompt. I'm going to make sure we hit the image generation. Okay, I'm going to upload the image of my shirt. Upload file. Paste my prompt in here. And we're going to hit run. Now, hopefully, Gemini does a better job than last time where it completely ignored. I don't think that's Elon Musk. Call me skeptical, but yeah, I don't think that's Elon Musk. Oh yeah, look at that! It did. It made it a short sleeve shirt. Okay, wow. So I saw a lot of people making a big deal out of Google Gemini for the image editing features, but I don't know. I'm not so sure. Okay, so to be fair, let's try. Can you put that sweatshirt on a 24-year-old attractive model? And we're going to hit run. Let's see what it does with that. Just to be fair, let's do the complete test. Okay. No.
Specify age. Gender.
Okay. Yeah. That is true. So let's see. I forgot to put female. So my bad. Attractive female model, run. Interesting how it fixed the sleeves though.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It definitely it looks like a lower resolution image, and the faces don't look very real. Okay, well, yeah. In fact, the shirt itself even seems kind of flat. You know, like it almost looks like somebody drew it over the top of the model. That's interesting. Okay, what do you think? Which one is the winner? Let's do the final tally. So you've seen generating an image from scratch. Now we've seen editing images for product shots. What do you think about these? And by the way, in just a moment, I'm going to go over the 4 different case studies of ways people are already using these tools to make money online with their businesses. We're going to go through those in just a moment. But this has my mind running wild for all the things that we can do with this to generate cash in my businesses. I want to share some of those ideas with you. I'm going to tell you how I'm going to be using this. But more importantly, we've put in the slide deck, again, that you can download when you become a newsletter subscriber. You'll be able to download the deck, and there are case studies in there to show you specific examples of what other people are doing to generate profit with this. Now, here with our live audience, the winner is clear. Okay, just want to make sure that I'm not biased in influencing everybody. So it does look like you all agree. I think, is it unanimous? The winner is ChatGPT. So ChatGPT clearly stands out in every use for us that we've done behind the scenes when it comes to making ads and all the other stuff that we're going to be using it for in business. It's the clear winner. So if you want to be using an AI image generator in your business to make stuff like this, then I say, pony up the $20 a month and jump in and grab a ChatGPT. I think they call it premium, right? That's the first tier. First tier is premium, and that will give you access. If you want to play with this, if you don't have an account, you can play with it on the free mode. But if you're going to be using it seriously, you will need to upgrade to premium so you can generate, enough different images. All right, cool. Well, then that takes us to our bonus content. There we go. So you can see we already knew who won from our in-house testing. That was ChatGPT. And here you can experiment with it for free if you want to see for yourself before you upgrade. It does understand instructions much better. It handles text inside images better. So if you want to make sure it spells the things in your text better, the images are much higher fidelity, meaning they're much higher quality, higher resolution. They look better. In fact, it's almost impossible to tell like reality from some of the pictures that I've been generating. Like you saw the example of the model that we did with ChatGPT. I mean, that looks like a real photo. Like if I saw this in a catalog, I would not know that that was AI generated. Also, the other reason, which I didn't dive into too much, is that it works great with multiple images. So you can take 2 images. So let's say you have a modeled image that you already like, and then you have an image of a product or something else you want to combine the 2 together, or a landscape. Let's say you want to put a person in a futuristic landscape. You can combine 2 images together, and ChatGPT clearly wins out and is the best option when you want to take multiple images and use them to create a unique new image. All right, so now we're into the bonus content. And again, if you want to download this deck, the one that you see right there or right there, you can get it. It's totally free. I pinned it into the comments, into the chat, so you can see it there. I'll also put it in the description of the video where you can click and go subscribe to our totally free Ingeniosity newsletter. You'll be able to get this slide deck, including the bonus content that I'm about to show you. Okay, idea number 4, mock-ups of your product. And that's what we've already talked about here. So you can see here, Lorenzo Green, there's a link to this if you would like to go see on Twitter and see what he did. And he took his book and he made Mark Zuckerberg read his book, which I find really funny, especially if you look, it's about the book Dopamine Nation. He put it in Mark Zuckerberg's hands. Pretty clever. But there's another example. Here's a jewelry. So this is someone who took a chain, put it on a model. Here's one here. This was kind of a fun example that they did. So they did this whole product shot here. This would be a great product ad for social media. It attracts attention and it shows and showcases their product. Pretty cool. Here's somebody who put their hat. Next, print on demand. So this is something that you've heard me talking about recently. I've had some special guests join us talking about print on demand. In fact, my younger son has an entire business that he has built around this idea of taking AI images and making physical products with them. It's called print on demand. And so you can see some examples of this. Here's an Etsy shop that we can take a look at selling custom products to customers. So if you want to be able to see this link, it's included. All these links are in the slide deck. Of course, let's say you wanted to take a picture of your pet, and put them on a mug or a shirt or something like that. These are great uses for that, which, by the way, that's what Nizzly does, my son's business. That's what it does for people. There's Donald Trump holding a phone case as an example. Idea number 2, we're counting down from the least profitable to the most profitable, okay? Idea number 2 is for thumbnails. Wherever you're putting videos, you need a thumbnail. And that's the image that shows on YouTube, for example. And now for us in-house, we're gonna be making our thumbnails using these tools. As an example, let's take a look at this one. I thought this was really clever. So he quite literally this is a Mr. Beast thumbnail. So Mr. Beast, of course, the king of YouTube, he took Mr. Beast's thumbnail and he had AI put Elon Musk there, okay? And you can notice he swapped out Elon Musk, put him in a ripped up Tesla shirt, and threw him on the beach, just like Mr. Beast. So you can use this, and I'm not saying you should be stealing people's thumbnails, but you can take an existing thumbnail that you know is working really, really well, whether it's one of your past thumbnails or somebody else's, upload it to these tools, and then ask it to use it as inspiration to make a new thumbnail for you, okay? Don't commit copyright infringement and steal people's thumbnails, but you can upload successful thumbnails and ask these tools to use them for inspiration to make you a thumbnail. All right, now let's get down to the most profitable use of these tools. That is making ads. Now let's face it, if you want to make a lot of money, I'm not talking like just a little side hustle business, but you want to make a lot of money, it means you need to be open to doing advertising. That's advertising on Facebook, on X, on YouTube, or wherever it might be. And to do that, you need what's called creatives. Those creatives can be images, they can be videos, but you need them, and you need a lot of them to be successful with advertising. Now, you can succeed in advertising. If you're a newer entrepreneur and you're really worried about having to waste a lot of money, you can do this on a budget when you get started. But you do need to test a lot of different strategies and attempts and different color schemes and different angles and ideas for all of these things. And in the past, I can tell you, even for me, with all the resources I have available to me, it was a bottleneck. And it would actually interfere, slow down, and sometimes stop our advertising because we just couldn't produce enough creatives, enough videos, enough images. Well, now that is not a problem for anyone. You can make as many images as you need, and you can make them eye-catching, you can make them real. So you don't have to use, everyone is used to seeing the kind of weird images that some of the past image generators made. You know what I'm talking about? They look sort of futuristic, almost kind of cartoony. They don't look super realistic. They look a little off. Well, now with these tools, you can make hyper realistic images into ads, and you can make as many of them as you want. So you can test and test and test until you can find that winning ad. And so let's take a look and see how others are doing just that. So here's a good one here. Let's go look. It said reproduce this ad. So they took a successful ad that they saw and asked it to make it better for their brand. And there you go. Again, I'm not saying you should steal other people's advertisements, but why not save them, upload them to AI, and use them for inspiration and ideas to make your own ads? Here's an example of someone who, just for fun, took their product, and now they have The Rock holding the product, okay? So again, I'm not saying don't do celebrity endorsements that are fake like that, but it just gives you an example of what you could do. So you could instead of using The Rock, you could actually have AI make you a model like you saw me do and put your product in that model's hand. More product shots. This one is kind of clever here, just to give you more example ideas. They took their drink and put it on a surfboard, and it's very kind of interesting looking. This image, I think, would work really well as an ad. Here's a more traditional product shot done as an ad. Now, remember I said you need to do lots of testing? This is a great example of that. So that they could have a green, a blue, an orange, and test completely different color schemes, which, believe it or not, something as simple as shifting the entire color use like you see in that can make all the difference. So you might run ads and you're using the blue image and it just isn't working. You're not getting enough clicks. The ad costs are too expensive and the ad just isn't working. Well, you might see changing it to orange doubles your click-through rate, and all of a sudden you're now able to make profit, whereas before you couldn't. And all it could be is a simple change of your images. this is kind of fun. I love this show. So anybody else a fan of this show? But there we go. We put McDonald's in the macro data refinement cubicle. So pretty cool. I'm like totally hooked on this show. I haven't been able to watch it I've been out of town and traveling, but I haven't been able to watch the show. I've got a couple episodes waiting for me. Actually, I'm going to watch them tonight. And there we go. So those are all examples of that. Now, if you got value out of this training, you learned something, you got a little inspiration, a little motivation, a little value of any kind, I would highly appreciate it if you would smash that thumbs up. And of course, subscribe. So if you're not following me on social media or over on YouTube or wherever, subscribe. You'll generally see a button to do that down below. Over on YouTube, you'll see a red subscribe button. Hit that button, and I release content like this all the time, totally free. All I want to do is help you with your mission to succeed as an entrepreneur. Whether you're just starting out, maybe you haven't yet built your first business, I'd like to help you use AI tools like these to build that first business and get profitable. And if you're already up and running, I want to help you take these tools and make even more money than ever before. Then, of course, I've got my own suite of AI tools that helps you do things like these as well, called Push Button AI. And you can learn more about that if you follow me on my socials and other places. But with that, I really hope to see you next time. Goodbye for now. You may or may not know, I have an AI tool that's a company called Push Button AI that helps people build course businesses. It builds the whole business, bottom to top. It helps you do the research to pick the niche market, helps you figure out what topics you should write about, what your course should be about, what the lessons should be about. It outlines the lessons. It writes the whole thing. It creates your sales page. It creates your page to get leads to subscribe to your business. It even writes your email sequence. It does audiobooks, video trainings, and a whole lot more. You just answer 2 questions and you hit a button, and it does it all. If you're interested in that, certainly you can book a demo to see it for yourself. You'll see with your own eyes. We're often running webinars and other trainings as well. So I'll drop links to either our webinar or our demos down below so you can check it out and see if it's something for you. But I found that most people get really overwhelmed and frustrated with the technical stuff. So that's why we created Push Button AI. If you're looking for a tool, we'll just do it for you. And it'll just handle the technical stuff. So when it comes to like setting up your web hosting, registering a domain name, setting up your email marketing, we even include a complete, fully functional email marketing platform that you can log into and email all of your customers and subscribers. It's all included. And all of the tech setup is done by the AI. If you want that, then definitely schedule your demo. You can get a demo from us by going to pushbutton.ai/demo. Now, at the time of recording this video, Push Button AI is not publicly for sale, but if you book a demo, they'll show you the technology, and if it makes sense, if it's something that can really help you, they'll invite you into our early access program. But what they'll do first is show you the technology. They'll talk about what kind of a course you might want to make. They'll talk about your business plans. They'll help guide you on what the right choices are for creating your first course business. And then if it makes sense, if it's the right tool for you, they'll invite you into the early access program. But check out the demo. It's mind-blowing. Again, that's at pushbutton.ai/demo. That's pushbutton.ai/demo.